everybody. Today is July 27th. It's Tuesday. Got a little bit behind on our video newsletters. I have to apologize for that. What we're going to talk about today is personal responsibility with healthcare. One of the things the first thing that I want to touch on is you are ultimately responsible for your own health. No one else. No one else forces you to eat the way that you do. Nobody else forces you to have bad habits, to smoke, to drink, to do things like that. So what we want to touch on today is some things that you can do to start getting yourself better even before you walk into my office. The first thing is take a personal inventory. Are you overweight? Do you have bad habits? Now you'll know if you're overweight. You'll look at the scale or you'll look at yourself in the mirror and there's going to be areas that just have a little bit more flesh than other areas. So what we want to do is we want to find out what is causing that. So a good way to start, and I do this with most of my patients that we have that we see for chronic conditions, is I have them do what's called a food journal. Now what is a food journal? Basically what a food journal is you write down everything that passes your lips, with the exception of air. I'm not so concerned with the quantity, but the quality of the food that you eat. The other thing that we have them do on this food journal is write down symptoms. If you eat something and 4, 6, 12 hours later you have some type of a symptom, it could be achy joints, it could be a headache, it could be upset stomach, it could be nausea, write it down and then go back and look, well maybe what did I eat that caused this problem. So food journals are very important. The other thing is fluid consumption. How much water a day are you drinking? How much coffee a day? How much soda? How much tea, sweet tea especially? Are you drinking milk? Are you drinking orange juice? What is your fluid intake? Everybody tells me the same thing, no exception. Doc, I drink plenty of water. And then you start pressing them and you find out that they maybe have 2, 6, or 8 ounce glasses of water a day. That's not enough. We need to stay hydrated. Our body is 70% water. Well, where's it going to get that water? Yes, it does get some from the food that we eat, but a majority is from what we drink. So we want to make sure that we have good fluid intake. The other thing is an exercise journal. Now, as soon as I say journal, people start panicking. Well, I'm not good at writing this and that. Again, personal responsibility. You have to take responsibility for yourself. Now, a journal is it's very simple. It's one line. What did you eat for lunch? Mac and cheese. What kind of symptoms did you have later? Upset stomach, fatigue. Just felt like I was in a coma the rest of the afternoon. So what we want to do is we want to kind of put these things together. And same thing with an exercise journal. Walk around the block, walk 2 miles. It doesn't have to be, in great detail. What this does too is it also gives you a reminder of the things that you need to do. Another thing that I recommend in these steps towards getting healthy is, again, a personal inventory, not necessarily stepping on a scale. One of the things that I recommend my patients do, especially our patients that are very weight conscious, is ignore the scale. Get the bathroom scale out of there. Hide it somewhere. Instead, use what's called a tailor's tape. It's just a tape measure. It's a cloth tape measure. What you do is you measure certain areas. You measure your neck, you measure the bust, the biceps, measure the gut right around where the belly button is, around your hips. On guys, it's where the belt is. On females, just a little bit lower. Measure the diameter of each thigh, the knees, and the calves. And write it down somewhere that nobody else is going to see it. Put it on the back of your closet door. Put it in a drawer somewhere. Put it in your journal. You can have an overall health journal that you can keep. So by doing that, you're kind of keeping track of yourself. Because when most people go on a diet, they get very excited because the first several weeks they're losing a lot of weight. Most of the time that's water weight. Water weight shows up on the scale. It does not show up in the tape measure. So as we lose weight, we start losing inches. So people notice it in their waistline. The belt is you can cinch up a few more notches. Now, on the inverse of that, as you go through your diet program and you exercise more, you're going to notice that these measurements in some areas are going to get larger, especially if you exercise. The biceps are going to get larger. The thighs will get larger. Sometimes the bust line will get larger. The gut will definitely get smaller. The waistline should get smaller also. The reason for that is we're building muscle tissue. So the more muscle tissue that we build, obviously the more inches that we're going to gain in the areas that we want to, and we're going to lose inches in the areas that we don't. So why is this important to overall health? Well, when we look at ourselves metabolically, the more weight we put on, the harder our heart has to work, the harder our liver has to work, our kidneys, the rest of our bodily organs. So we want to make sure that we take good care of those. So that's our tip for the week, and I look forward to seeing everybody very soon, and you have a great day.